For 22 years, the Pritchetts have celebrated every birthday together as a family, until now, because their only daughter was just deployed to serve in Afghanistan. It doesn't really matter that it's his birthday because this father makes the same wish every day. Behind every service member, there is a family that serves as well. Now it's our turn to show our thanks.
Visit joiningforces.gov to see how you can help.
Nicholas Oresco. Want to tell us a little bit about him, Greg?
Well, I'm going to defer to the expert, Paul Buca, a fellow Medal of Honor winner. My understanding is he is the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient, Paul?
Yes, he is. World War II, Battle of the Bulge, and the thing that I always point out about Nick, if he had his choice of going when he was a younger man to a bar or a place with other men, he would go to an elementary school to talk to kids.
Unbelievable. Battle of the Bulge. I read that in grammar school.
It seems almost mythical.
Yes.
He's 4'11", defies the stereotype of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, and he is just a loving, wonderful, great representative of this country. Never fails to come to this parade. Has been here all the time, most of the times anonymously, just sitting on the bleachers.
Where's he
and
from,
watching.
Paul?
New Jersey, right across the river.
So at this parade in New York, we've had obviously Mr. Oresco and Dakota Meyer, one of the youngest ever living recipients of the Medal of Honor.
Most recent.
He was just awarded the Medal of Honor a little over a month ago at the White House by President Obama for heroic actions in Afghanistan. We see the band from the New York City Department of Corrections.
Terrific.
The guys who guard the jails. It's a very tough job. They call them New York's strongest.
Now I think we're going to see Dakota Meyer. Dakota Meyer is now with Nicholas Oresco. Do you see him? Excuse me. There we go.
That's Dakota Meyer, the youngest and the oldest, right there.
Well, our hats off to both of them. Thank you so much.
Dakota's quite a man, quite a man.
He's right here.
Nice to see you.
Come on over and say hi. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Appreciate it.
Sergeant Dakota Meyer, Greg Kelly, it's an honor. We would like you to say hi to Paul Buca.
Hi, Dakota. How are you? Welcome. All right.
How's life? You made us all proud. Thank you so much. Good luck, okay?
Okay, you're looking at the Corrections Department, and lots of great floats come. Oh, look at this Corrections tank, Greg.
Yeah, they got some heavy equipment over there.
When did they use this Corrections tank?
Ooh, well, we haven't had a prison riot in the city in some time, but
Since Attica?
They've got to be ready. That was upstate New York, of course. If I can for a moment, we just met Dakota Meyer.
Dakota Meyer, a wonderful young man. When he was asked, when he was going to the White House, what he could do, he said, I'd like to have a beer with the president.
Yes.
Absolutely unaffected, carries the new celebrity that he has with humility and thinking of his men at all times.
The
he's a great guy.
The president granted him that wish. They both shared a beer on the patio right outside the Oval Office. It was a magnificent moment.
That is so pretty cool. We have with us someone who's done so much to help some of the military when they come home, find a job, and be a part of the community.
Frank Bisignano is the Chief Administrative Officer of J.P. Morgan Chase, a major employer here in New York City. Frank is a New Yorker. And he comes from
a Brooklynite. That's different from a New Yorker.
Come on. Nice to see you again, sir.
Always a pleasure.
J.P. Morgan Chase, ambitious plan to hire 100,000 veterans in coordination with some other companies. Whose idea was this?
Well, it was an idea that spurred from the comments that J.P. Morgan himself had in 1919. J.P. Morgan made the comments himself that it was our job to employ those who came back, whether there was a requirement or not. And I stand on the shoulders of those who come before me and try to follow through on that legacy.
If somebody is at home watching right now and they're a veteran and they need work, what can they do? Where should they go?
They should go to chasemilitary.com. I'd love to give Paul Buca here one of our handbands to
I
put
got
on.
one too.
There you go.
It
Thank
says
you.
100,000 jobs.
100,000 job mission. We're hiring at Chase 10 jobs a day. 10 veterans a day are being hired right now as we speak.
Well, Frank's being a little humble, though. They say J.P. Morgan, but Frank and the fellow leaders of this bank have made a commitment not only in the area of hiring vets, but doing everything they can to teach companies how to retain the vets once they've hired them. They put together a whole program that teaches companies the unique things you need to do to make sure a vet who's been living in Afghanistan for 7 years
Do you have to
here.
retrain? Is there a certain amount of retraining that's involved here?
Well, you know, having talked to people like Paul and Colonel Sutherland, they let us understand that there is an assimilation to bring back into the workforce. This is the best trained workforce you're going to find. We have the greatest military in the world and the best trained people in the world, but our job is to get them prepared to come into a different working environment, and we've been working hard on that. Not only are we committed to hiring, but we're committed to retaining and watching the advancement of these people.
Being in the military is tough. A lot of sacrifice, very long days, lateness is not tolerated. The transition is tough. I personally reverted to my lazy habits quite readily after I left the Marine Corps, where they don't tolerate laziness. Of course, Frank, it's just wonderful what J.P. Morgan Chase is doing. 100,000 jobs over the next 9 years. Good luck. It's a very ambitious project, and we thank you for conducting it. Really,
Thank you for having us here.
And he's one of our Grand Marshals.
That's right. And they underwrote this parade.
you
Without
so
them, there
much.
would be no parade.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
We're
very
coming right back with more of the New York City Veterans Day Parade.
We're good.